Guys, it's Brian Mounts with Turp Mechanic. Today I want to talk to you about eye protection while we're doing lawn care, whether we're using a weed whacker here, a string trimmer, or a lawnmower, or any other random piece of equipment in the backyard. It could be a dethatcher, a scarifier, it could be a tiller. You could be doing landscaping work. You could be using a jackhammer, whatever the heck it is that you're doing outside, using a saw. We got to protect our eyes. So back in the day, a long time ago, I used to use these weed eaters out in the fields and around my fence lines and things like that. And I was like an idiot kid, and I just go out there with nothing on my eyes. I literally have multiple times that I can remember where projectiles that my weed eater hit shot rocks and little pebbles up into my face. One time, literally, it hit my eyeball. I'm very, very lucky that it didn't damage me and cause permanent damage. I got lucky. A lot of us get lucky. But now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, this is a ridiculous way to go about life. If we're going to be out in the lawn using a lawnmower, using a string trimmer, using any sort of lawn care piece of equipment, all of these things are spinning fast and they can throw things up into the eyes. So over the years, I have graduated from using nothing into using just cheap eye protection that you pick up at like Home Depot or Lowe's or some other big box store. There's nothing wrong with those things. Eventually, I graduated into using kind of more stylish stuff. This is my eye protection from Carhartt. They're basically just sunglasses, but the glass is very, very strong. These days, however, over the past something like 10, 11 months, I've been using the things that I got on my face right now. This is a product from Shell Shock. It is a ballistic sunglass slash eye protection. Essentially, these things like the glass or the plastic, or whatever the heck is over my eyes, this stuff is military grade. It is capable of taking a direct shot from a hard projectile to military grade. So this is not my area of expertise. I can't explain it to you. I'll flash like the thing on the screen, the code, or whatever the military grade thing is. This stuff is extremely strong. So I don't know how it compares to Carhartt. It's probably similar, but the point here is it's very strong, and this is what is used in shooting. So if you're out like hunting, if you're at the firing range, and you don't want to take shrapnel into the eye, the lens is going to protect your eyes. So in terms of using a weed eater or a lawnmower, if you hit a rock and it shoots up towards your eyes, it's going to protect it. Now, that's not special. I mean, it is special, but there's lots of brands of eye protection that are going to do that. The reason that I started using these whenever I use my weed eater, not necessarily my lawnmower, but certainly my weed eater or some other products, is I wear these because not only does it protect my eyes, but it has this under the eye protection kind of cushion zone. So if you've ever used a weed eater, even with eye protection, you always know that there's a gap in between the glasses and your cheekbone down here. So unless you're using like goggles, like swimming goggle style stuff that's like suction cup to your eyes, you know that as you're using the weed eater, things can go up under your eye, under your glasses, into your eye. So these products right here, or this set of glasses right here, has this foam connection piece that extends the goggle from under your eye and it presses it up against your cheekbone. While wearing these, every single time I've ever used my weed eater, I have never, not once ever, had anything fly up into my eye. Now, I don't run like Lawncare service company, so I'm not using my weed eater every single day. I'm not like trimming weeds off of like gravel every day, but I've used my string trimmer constantly or regularly for years and years and years, and I've always had projectiles running up into my face. While wearing these things, it's never happened once. Not only are the eyeballs protected, but everything under the glasses it's extra protection simply because of the foam extra protection zone way down at the bottom and around the edges. Why am I making this video? Because I take care of the lawn. I use lawnmowers, I use string trimmers. Some of you out there use dethatchers. I also use dethatchers and scarifiers. These things are blades that are turning extremely fast, and if they hit anything, they go flying. We gotta protect ourselves. I urge you, if you're watching this video, if you care about your lawn, if you use equipment like this, find something, at bare minimum, some sort of cheap eye protection pair of glasses that you can put on while you're working. But furthermore, I urge you to get something like this that has the lower protection zone. That is not common when you look at eye protection glasses. It's just not common. You go to any hardware store and you'll find eye protection all over the place, but rarely do they have protection for under the eye. So as things fly up from the ground, they can't get in because of the foam protection at the cheekbone. That's why I consider these to be some of the best eye protection for lawn care. And it's from a brand where the lens itself is capable of stopping projectiles on shooting ranges and in military kind of ballistic situations. That whole thing is kind of out of my area of expertise, but I do know that explosions are pretty dangerous for your eyes. So if a set of goggles are considered to be safe in those situations, I trust these to protect me against flying rocks and sticks out in the lawn. I'm going to link to these down in the description below. And I also have another video here on this channel talking about ear protection, because ear protection is just as important. It might not be as traumatic as an eye injury, but long term, nobody wants to go about their lives for 20 years not being able to hear anything.